How much money does it cost to live in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico?
We've got an answer for you today. We've been tracking our spending over the last month, so we are going to be able to share with you category by category how much we spent.
Bienvenidos, amigos, and welcome back to another episode of More Live Diaries. We're going to break things down for you guys by categories such as rent, transportation, utilities, food, etc. Don't be concerned. We're going to tell you guys exactly how much we spent on tacos. You don't want to miss the end, the big reveal, how much money we spend for a whole month as a family of 4 here living in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button wherever you see one and comment down below how much you spend on certain things if you do live here, or if you're surprised by anything, let us know in the comments down below. Before we get into the cost of living, let's go take a little walk and show you guys views from the Malecon and see what's going on out there. Alright guys, welcome back. And I am solo because Kathleen does have to work a little bit. So let's get into our cost of living breakdown. Living here in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Just a few disclosures to begin with. So this is a rounded amount. We did track our expenses for a full month. I just rounded them up so that, we had hard round numbers. And this is an approximate amount, so it does change. It does go up and down depending on the month, depending on the activities that we choose to do, if we're taking trips out of town, etc. The second thing is that the exchange rate as shown on the screen here. So I'm going to put all the prices in Mexican pesos, compare them to USD, and I'm also going to put the Canadian dollar on there as well. So the exchange rate at the time of the calculation that I'm showing you guys is for every 1 USD is 17.330 pesos, and for every 1 Canadian dollar it is 12.979 pesos. Canadian dollar, get better. And the third disclosure is that this is just for information purposes. This is our cost of living. Could be very different based on the way you choose to live here in Puerto Vallarta. If you have kids, if you're single, if you're a couple, where you live, where you choose to eat out, where you choose to do your groceries. So this is very dependent on your lifestyle. So this is our cost of living for 1 month. And it could be very, very different depending on how you choose to live here. All right, guys, so let's get into our cost of living here. I'm going to break it down by category, and then throughout every category, we're going to do a little drop down of more specific things that we spend our money on, and then I'll discuss those a little bit further throughout. Starting with number 1, the big ticket item, housing. So how much we pay for rent here. We live in Cinco de Diciembre, which is kind of like a a neighborhood in the downtown core of Puerto Vallarta, and we pay 22,000 Mexican pesos, which converts to just under 1,300 USD. Now again, living in Cinco de Diciembre, this is a very kind of average amount. You can find places for a little bit less, and you can find places for a lot more. We live in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. We have about 1,000 square feet of living space, plus a big terrace here at the front and a balcony out at the back. So a fairly big space to live in. And we're about a 1-minute walk from Playa Camarones. Like I said, if you live a little bit higher up the hill in a very kind of traditional local place, you may pay a little bit less, but we've been house hunting a little bit, seeing what else is out there, and this is a very, very average price. I'd say on the lower end. Overall, 22,000 pesos. That is what to expect if you're moving in Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood, very close to the beach. Moving on to the utilities. Our total utility bill is just over 3,200 pesos, which converts to $189 USD. And within that breakdown, we have gas at 225 pesos, electricity at 2,000 pesos, internet at 500 pesos, cell phones at 100 pesos, and garrafon, which is the big bottles of water, which is our drinking water or cooking water, etc. We spend on average 380 pesos más o menos, and this is for 10 garrafones throughout the month. So just important points to touch on here would be electricity, and that is highly dependent on if you use air conditioning or not. Our one tip for you guys, if you are looking at renting a place in Puerto Vallarta or Mexico in general, is to ask for an electricity bill ahead of time, because if the previous tenants were using a lot of electricity, it would have knocked you up into a higher tier, and you'd be paying more even though you're not using as much as the previous tenants. So definitely do ask to see an electricity bill just to get a rough idea of, you know, how much you'd be paying if you were to move into that apartment. The second one is internet. So we're thankful that we have fairly good and fairly quick internet here in Cinco de Diciembre. We're serviced through Izzy, and it's quite affordable, like 29 USD per month. The speed is great. We barely have any blackout issues here, so overall a decent price. And our cell phones is very low, so 100 pesos or $6 USD. The reason it is so low for us is because we're kind of on a pay-as-you-go plan. Whenever we need data or data runs out, we just go to the local OXXO, put about 100 pesos worth of data back in our phone. That being said, I haven't put any on my phone for many months now. I just choose not to, so that when I'm outside the house, I can kind of just live in the moment, not be stuck to my phone, not be answering texts or be on Instagram. And yeah, basically, like, either I or Kathleen will put a little bit of money here and there, but it is very rare. We just go off Wi-Fi wherever we are, and yeah, we're kind of just liking living that way. But it's not for everyone. People definitely do want to put money on their cell phone or get on a cell phone plan, which is available here, but we just decide not to. And 100 pesos is enough to have data for a month if you're not like on Instagram or on YouTube nonstop using up that data. Then it will go quite quickly. And just lastly, yeah, the garrafon, we get one every 2 to 3 days. So I've quoted 10 throughout the month, which would be a garrafon every 3 days. They are very big. We do drink a lot of water, so we go through them very quickly, but it is a very kind of standard thing to drink from garrafones if you do live in Mexico. Moving on to transportation. So total that we pay for transportation per month is about 1,333 pesos, which is about 79 USD. And that is for one trip to the gas station to fill up my car. So we basically fill up the car once a month, unless we're going out of town and driving further away, then we might have to like use up 1.5 tanks throughout the month. But believe it or not, like 1 tank lasts us the full month, and that is because everything is very close in distance and you're driving very slow to go there. So there's no like main highway where you're going 120, 130 kilometers per hour. You're usually going about 50 or 60. So we have to fill up just once a month basically, and that's great. It helps us save a lot on gas. Whereas back in Toronto, that was like once a week, if not twice a week, because of the amount of driving and the distance we were driving to get around. Also, in terms of transportation, we do have Mexican car insurance. I didn't put it as part of this cost of living because it was a one-time payment that we did before getting here, and that was about a couple hundred, give or take, dollars USD for the year. So one-time payment, we paid ahead of time. Yes, we do take Uber once in a while, or we do take the bus once in a while, but not enough for me to like put it as an official cost of living. We spend maybe 50 or 60 pesos per ride, and that's like maybe once or twice per month at most, but very affordable to take public transportation here if you don't have a car. All right, the fun stuff, eating out, which we do quite often. So the total amount we spent on eating out in this given month is $4,950, which is approximately $292 USD. So we've broken that down a little bit further. The first category we have is takeout. So typically our takeout is like a Costco pizza, or we'll go to Pollo Feliz and get a full chicken meal. For 5 times throughout the month, we spent 1,075 pesos, which is about $63 USD. So not too bad for 5 full meals plus probably some leftovers. Next category is tacos, and we had to give this its own category because if you watch the channel, we love ourselves some tacos. We're always eating tacos or showing tacos. So we went out for tacos 8 times throughout the month and spent a total of 1,850 pesos. So más o menos 109 USD, which again is not that bad considering we got 8 meals out of that. Next category is coffee shops. So we like frequenting coffee shops. As you saw in our last episode, me and Kathleen go places to work a little bit, and you'll definitely be seeing more of those on our channel. So we went to coffee shops 7 times, spent around 585 pesos, which turns out to be 34 USD. So again, not bad, especially considering we're working there for a couple hours at a time. So definitely worth it to just get out there and explore coffee shops. Dessert, so we do love our dessert. We typically get churros, which is the main one. We'll get ice cream. We'll sometimes get cake on a malecon, etc. In this particular month, we went out 4 times for dessert and spent 240 pesos, which is about 14 USD. And last but not least, restaurants. So this is sit-down places that we'll go. For this month, we went out twice to a sit-down restaurant, which typically costs a little bit more. And we spent 1,200 pesos, 71 USD. Moving on to groceries, we spent a total of 8,050 pesos, which is about 475 USD on groceries. The first category in the grocery section is tiendas. So we live right above a little tienda that often has fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, eggs. So if we forget to buy something at the grocery store or at the market, we'll just run down and get it, or as we need an ingredient for a recipe. Otherwise, like OXXO or just quick convenience stores that we'd stop in and buy a water bottle or buy some snacks at, we spent a total of 1,600 pesos, which is about 94 USD. And most of that, I'd say, is at the little tiendita downstairs from where we live. And we like supporting the woman that owns it as well. So she's our neighbor. So we definitely like just supporting her. Costco, we spent a total of 2,900 for 2 trips there, which is about 171 USD. Again, not too bad considering when we do go to Costco, we get bulk items that we consume a lot of. Most of those being dairy products and meat. So we like the quality of those items there, and we consume a lot of them. So why not buy them in bulk? Grocery stores, we spent about 2,300 pesos, so about 136 USD. Most of those would be at Lay's or La Comer. La Comer has a really good deal if you get groceries delivered. So if you're not able to head out to the grocery store, you can order online. They do the delivery for very cheap, and the quality of the items that they do pick out is fairly good as well. So that's definitely a recommendation if you do go the supermarket route to do your groceries. And finally, the market. So the tianguis is where we spend most of this money. So about 1,250 pesos per month, or $74 USD. If you look at our Tianguis Santa Maria video, you'll see that we get quite a lot of fruits and vegetables there for a very affordable price. And also, we just like supporting locals, and we like going to Tianguis as well. So this is where we buy a lot of our fruits and vegetables. For all, like, that's the best bang for your buck if you do decide to do some grocery shopping for fruits and vegetables. That's our number one recommendation, and it is a great experience to just shop local, be amongst locals, and to see kind of a cultural difference from where we're from anyways. So the Tianguis is the place to be. We go almost every Saturday. Clothes and shoes, we have a whopping $0. And it's not to say that we haven't bought any clothes since we've been here, but it is very, very rare. I've probably bought a few pieces one time at the Santa Maria market, 3 shirts for 100 pesos. Kathleen, maybe a couple things as well. So overall, not enough to put something on a cost of living per month, because it doesn't happen every month. We've been here for almost like 10 months now, and it's happened on a few occasions that we've bought clothes. But again, like, if you go to the Tianguis, you get 3 used t-shirts for 100 pesos. I think pants and shorts are around 150 to 200 pesos. That's in the used clothes where we prefer to shop. And otherwise, just a few things here and there for the kids, mostly at like Woolworth. In this particular month, we hadn't bought any clothes or shoes, so we decided to leave that off. But this could be very dependent on how much shopping that you do. We don't do a lot, close to none actually, so we just kept this at $0. Personal care, we spent 1,225 pesos, which is equivalent to 72 USD. And the primary category being random, we spent 550 pesos, so 94 USD. This is on shampoo, face wash, deodorant, toothpaste, etc. We don't use that many products. Like, we buy a thing of shampoo and body wash, and it lasts us quite a bit of time. We spend more on quality and use a little bit less of it. We're not very wasteful in that regard, so it lasts us throughout the month whenever we buy a shampoo bottle, face wash, etc. Baby stuff, so basically diapers and wet wipes, we spent around 425 pesos, so $25 USD. We only have 1 baby in diapers right now, and most of the time when he's home, he's just naked running around because it is very hot. So, and the next thing is haircut, 250 pesos. So I've gotten about 4 haircuts, I'd say, since I've been here in about 10 months. So should be getting it cut probably more often, which is why I wear a lot of hats. But yeah, 250 pesos. The haircuts have been between 200 and 250 pesos. So if you're coming on a vacation or you're looking to move here, they do have excellent barbershop if you like a nice tight fade or taper, etc. And again, around 200, 250. You can find cheaper, but I do not vouch for those, okay? I pay around 250 and they do a great job. Next up, we have the kids section. So we spent a total of 10,550 pesos, which is $622 USD for all things kids. So if you don't have kids, probably skip ahead. If you have kids, you'll want to listen to this part. So overall, school is 4,500 pesos each, $265 USD. So we spend that on obviously both of our kids. They go to a private Montessori in Spanish, so 100% Spanish. Drawing class, so our oldest Bastian goes to drawing class every Saturday. And we spend about 100 pesos per class, totaling 400 pesos or $24 USD. And that's for a couple hours every Saturday. He absolutely loves it. He loves to draw, so it's fun to get him in those types of activities. He also takes swimming lessons, and I put swimming / taekwondo because now we have him in swimming lessons, whereas he was doing taekwondo before, and we'll probably put him in taekwondo again come fall time. That's 1,000 pesos per month or $59 USD. Swimming lessons is once per week, and taekwondo was 3 times per week. A good activity to keep the kids active, to have them learning new skills. And playgrounds, there's like these private playgrounds at the mall, like Galaxy Kids, here at Plaza Caracol, and we spend about 150 pesos. So we'll go there like once or twice a month. I believe for both of our kids, it's 150 pesos every time we go. So about $9 USD. There are a ton of play places at different malls for the kids and also at different restaurants. So if you do have kids, join Facebook groups, see what other parents are up to, throw questions up, and there are definitely a lot of activities that you can put your kids in. So sports and activities for us, we basically only spend money on one gym membership, which is 550 pesos per month or $32 USD, which isn't cheap for a discount gym here close to where we live. There are a lot more options when it comes to discount gyms in the USA or Canada, especially when it comes like a Fit for Less where you're paying like $10, $15, $20 per month. There's no like big corporate gyms here where it would bring in a little bit of competition and drive the prices lower, which is kind of like a good thing, but you do end up paying a little bit more for your gym membership. This is not a fancy gym by any means. It's on the lower end of gyms here. And yeah, 32 USD is a lot, but again, it's definitely a good thing to have. There's no price you can put on like staying healthy and staying active, right? So I didn't add these as part of the list because we didn't spend money on these in this particular month, but we have, as you guys have seen, like done some day passes. So the last one we would have done was 1,100 pesos or $65 USD. So a day pass at a resort for our whole family, $65 USD. And water park, which cost us 1,200 pesos, so $71 USD. Again, we did not add these as part of the total because we didn't go in this particular month, but that's something that we do choose to do every now and then as an activity. All right, guys, so the grand reveal, how much money we spend on average in a month living here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and the grand total is, drum roll please, 51,863 pesos, which is equivalent to $3,058 American or $4,073 Canadian. So no, it's not cheap. It is significantly less than when we were living in Toronto. So I'm gonna ask you, what do you find more expensive than you thought, and when you find less expensive than you thought living here?
I thought rent would be a bit cheaper, and that is something we are looking into.
Yeah, I think rent is definitely a little bit more than we wanted to spend on a place, and we are considering different options right now. And I think there's a big gap in food. Like if you're going to a sit-down restaurant, you're still kind of spending a lot of money versus if you're shopping at your local market and cooking your own food, or even going to a little taqueria.
For sure. I mean, if you go to any sit-down restaurant, even it seems cheaper than for sure Toronto, but that adds up, especially when there's, let's say 3 plates that you're buying for 3 people. When you compare that to what you could spend in the market or just buying groceries and cooking yourself, it's a lot more expensive.
So we hope you guys enjoy this episode, and we will be doing this semi-regularly, maybe like a 6-month checkup to see if our cost of living has gone up or has gone down. Hit the comments section if you have any questions or concern. Reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram if you want to chat a little bit more. We love connecting with you guys. And please, if you've made it this far and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We know you want to. On that note, guys, this is our journey. More Life Diaries. Peace.